It's kind of crazy. I was thinking today, people say that, certain people say that, many people say that the Bible is, a big facade and it was just created to control people. And that's like one of the main objections you'll hear. It's one of the biggest pillars that the atheistic worldview or argument stands on. But not that I like to crush pillars, but something that nobody talks about, and I think it's starting to take traction, and people are realizing this as we enter the age of information, this secret or formerly secret power, secret to some, power of fasting. And you could say, like, there's all these religions, how do we know which one's the right one? Therefore, let's just reject all of them. But one of the commonalities among all religions is this commandment or divine encouragement to fast for periods of time. And you actually hear, like, nowadays of these modern miracles where people, get cancer and they'll do like an extended 7-day fast, go back to the doctor, and the doctor's like, well, your cancer's gone, so whatever you did worked, before they sell you chemotherapy and medicine and all this stuff. But the truth is, you have what you need within you. And because when you fast, your body goes into autophagy and it eats away all these bad cells and stuff like that. So, and it just makes you wonder, because, okay, 9 out of 10 doctors or more will not just tell you to don't eat any food for a week and a half. They want to sell you the medicine and the chemotherapy. And it's not like they don't believe in autophagy, so it makes you wonder. Well, they're rejecting biblical teachings and the practice of fasting, and everyone's hopping on that train. So what? So they could sell you medicine? And this isn't new. I mean, the framework for prayer is, there's this concept, ARRR. You acknowledge how you're feeling. You relay that to God in prayer. You wait to receive a message back, and then you respond to that message. And that's the exact framework, ironically, of therapy, which is, by the way, a $40 billion booming industry in a godless society. Who would have thought? So that's like the second example of. It's like you're rejecting the Bible and then stealing the truths and then denying the truth of the Bible while sneaking out the good stuff out the back door and then profiting off of that. It's like the Marvel movies too. Christ, Jesus comes down and faces evil and a great evil force, and has a heroic death full of bravery and strength and courage, and redeems and saves the world. Like that's you can't write a better story, whether you believe that's true or not. But then that is rejected, and then instead points people's attention to Marvel movies, which is another $30 billion franchise. And funny enough, the word Marvel in Marvel superheroes, the definition of Marvel is one that causes wonder and astonishment. You know, so, oh my God, I love Marvel movies, even though my worldview is that I'm essentially an arbitrarily arranged alignment of atom molecules that has magically arisen from the inanimate without a loving creator. So it makes total sense, given that I'm just particle soup, that I would feel this enormous emotional pull towards Captain America, of all people, who fights evil and saves the world, and while simultaneously affirming my worldview by placing that story of Jesus to a fictional character, even though Jesus never lived in a movie theater and Captain America never lived in the world. It's like, where'd they get that idea? Well, anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know how wrong I am so you could argue. Because I'm not making any of this stuff up. Like, and none of what I've said is an opinion. None of what I just said is a lie. None of what I just said, it's just objective facts that I'm seeing in the world with my own speculations about the intentions of you know, stealing things, twisting things for your own profits. So yeah, go ahead and you know, argue with me in the comments. But the fact that you could argue doesn't mean that what I'm saying is not true. I mean, you could argue anything. You could argue why it's right and justified to kill millions of people, but the fact that you can argue that, you know, doesn't mean that it's true or good to do that. So, yeah, that's it for today.